So,
Technology.
Cade, you and I have been talking for a while. I found you on LinkedIn. You've been posting a lot. You were famous for, having your age in your LinkedIn headline, and so that was like a big thing. And people were like, "Oh my gosh, how's an 18-year-old SDR?" And matter of fact, how's an SDR that's 18 hitting quota every single month over and over again? I mean, the lowest month you hit was 100% of quota, but the highest month was what? 180?
180. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you've been hitting quota over the last couple months, and you've never missed an average of probably like 130% quota month over month, right?
Don't quote me on that, but I think it's somewhere like 130, 140.
Well, which is impressive either way, hitting quota each month, right? Some SDRs, some reps don't even hit quota, and some are struggling. So I want to have you on to talk through your process for how doing outreach, and selfishly, I want to know what your process is. So can you walk me through step by step? What do you start with? What's your mindset of doing outreach? Because there's a lot of AI SDRs out there. There's a lot of old school salespeople out there which have been stuck in their ways and they're trying to learn a new way to sell because buyers are changing. So walk me through your process, man. How are you hitting quota? What are you doing?
Try and start from the start. Let's see. So I'm probably a little further than some SDRs. Some SDRs have to find their own accounts, but right now I'm given an account list. And then that account list is broken down into like different segments within Common Room, which is what I use to kind of help me decide who to reach out to. For example, I'll get a list of 600 accounts, and that'll be broken down into little segments of like these companies are using this competitor, these ones are using this one. Like we have a lot of competitors, so I like to do these competitor plays where I reach out to people that I know are using a competitor that is probably worse than us, and then I'll try to, sell them on the differences. So that's one. I think it comes down to just targeting and then consistently doing outreach to those people and trying to have as many conversations as I can as possible. And most of the time that's through LinkedIn because ultimately I sell to salespeople and marketing people and RevOps, and they live all over LinkedIn. So that's the most like responsive place that I've found to have the most conversations.
So for context here, you sell a software, right? You sell tool software, and then your audience is a lot. They're on LinkedIn a lot,
A
and
lot,
so
yep.
a lot. And so you get a prospect list that is almost pre-researched. How would you call it? Like you know, there's signals, there's there's triggers. What would you call it? Signals that you know that they're
Signals,
using a
intent,
competitor.
whatever you want to call it, it's all the same.
So that research is already given to you. So it's like a golden platter. So like a lot of sales reps and growth marketers are like, oh my gosh, I wish I had that. First of all, how do you get that? That's what they're thinking. But you have that pre-handed to you, and then you go out and outreach from that. So where does signals play a role in your outreach? I mean, do you do outreach without having signals, without knowing who's using a competitor? How does that work?
Usually I'm going off of signals, and if I'm going back to nothing signals, it's just I'm going to target accounts that are selling to technical buyers. Like, let's say I've run out of signals, which probably is not going to happen because people are always poking around on the web everywhere. I would just go down to selling to accounts that sell to technical buyers because I know those accounts are just like bare bones. Those accounts would be a good fit for Common Room. But like right now, it's that, but then adding more. So it's like signal stacking. Like maybe they've raised funding recently. They're hiring SDRs, so that shows obviously they're scaling the team and they have to bring on more tools. But most of the time, it's based off of signals. And if it's not, I'm just going to fall back on, okay, I'm going to sell to accounts that sell to technical buyers.
100% of your time is selling towards signals. Why is that important? Why should other salespeople adopt that same methodology, or should they? What's your opinion? If you were to go to another company, I mean, would you continue to try to find signals? Would you do another strategy based on your experience?
Yeah, I think signals are definitely helpful. It's better to have any than none. Of course, I'm biased because I work here. But I feel like if I were going to go to another company, yes, I would definitely look for some signals. But first, I would try to find, okay, what is a good account for this company specifically, which is what I failed to do here at Common Room like the first, I'd say like 6 months even. I've only been here for 9 months. In the first 6 months, I probably didn't have a good idea of what an actual good fit company is for Common Room. And then like recently, I've tried to actually understand that, which is, rookie mistake. I should have done that a while ago, but I made it this far.
So if you were to break it down to steps, sounds like, tell me if I'm wrong, but step one, find the right account. So like the ICP, meaning like, size, whatever, firmographics, geographics, like it's the right account based on historical data of what the company has sold to before, right? Is that step one? Just find the right account.
Yep, definitely targeting. Targeting is a massive part.
Step two would be maybe find some sort of signal.
Yep, so it's finding the account and then like going into the account and seeing the specific people that have, shown the most intent or signals, that sort of thing.
What are the top signals that you optimize for right now? You mentioned just a couple, but if you could list off some of them that you're really into and what you're seeing a lot of results in.
Definitely job changers. New sales leaders almost always, like, let's say I have a really good account I want to reach out to and I haven't broke into it. Like, I'm watching that account every day for like somebody that is going to move there or like start a new role there. Because those people are most likely to, they're going to be open to taking a new look at another tool. They don't have to, it's not their baby. They can call it ugly because they didn't make it. So I'm always looking for job changers. That's a big one that I really like to track.
You said some acquisitions and some competitors as well. What are some other ones?
Hiring SDRs is good. And then also job changers where they've been on previous calls with us. That's a good segment. That's good because we have Gong and it's, plugged into our CRM, of course, so tracking that. Those are the main ones. Again, we're sales led. Common Room is. So like I would say like we aren't like the perfect customer like for ourselves. But again, I feel like any signal is better than others. And like those are, I wouldn't say commoditized. A lot of people do like website visitors, job changers, that sort of thing. But again, it's better than nothing. And I feel like it's definitely worth it.
So let me play a little game with you. Let me just use your mind a little bit. Let me challenge you. So what if, let's say you went to another company and you're selling a completely different solution. Let's say it was you were a manufacturer. You're a salesperson for a manufacturer, and you were selling to, let's say, retailers like the big box stores, even Walmart, other distributors. All right, this might challenge you a lot. Or you can pick another industry if you want. What type of signals would you go after and why? What would you be looking for? Like how would you, like a hawk, like an eagle, what would you try to spy on and monitor from these companies? Would it be the same ones like new hires and job changes? Would it be something else?
I have no clue. I wish I could tell you, but that wouldn't be like an industry that I would sell Common Room to. Like if I worked there, of course I would figure it out over time. But like this is my first job. I'm not really too familiar with other industries and other spaces and what would.
I think what I'm trying to point out is like I've worked with 21 different industries, and so far there's always been some sort of signal on the internet. Like even the companies that say, "Oh, my target audience is not on the internet." It's like, no, they actually are. Like there's so much information on the internet, even maybe not at the contact level, but even at the account level there is. Like, signals of like a government website posting about some company that just expanded their business. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even sure how that signal got on there in the first place, like who posted it. But would you agree like there's so much information on the internet?
Yeah,
depending on the industry?
Definitely. It's unless people sell to like grandpas, but
even grandpas are on the internet.
A little bit, but like I feel like if you were selling to big box stores, of course you can get a bunch of account information on that, like 10Ks and whatnot, but I feel like since there's so many people that work there, like contact level signals are more important as opposed to, because if you get a signal on the account, like what are you going to do? Go reach out to 20,000 people to try and find the right person that would care about that? If it can get down to like the person, then that would be more beneficial. And in terms of like exact signals, I have no clue because again, not my industry.
But it's out there. Okay, so you step 2, find signal. Then what do you do step 3?
I reach out, and my first touch is usually a LinkedIn connection request because again they live on LinkedIn, so I'm always trying to do that as well as in terms of posting, interaction with their posts,
sales nav or connection, like organic connection requests.
Organic. I always want to view their profile.
View their profile and then click connect. Okay, and then once they connect, what do you say?
Pitch.
Straight up pitch. All right.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for you? And I'm sure it's different per account, but how do you use the signal with the pitch, or do you not use the signal with the pitch, or do you do a hybrid?
It depends. If it's a signal like website visitor where they visited the website, you send them a connection request and they accept. Of course, you don't want to say, "Hey, saw you on the website," because that's what probably everybody in the world says. So I just like to talk about, like I just try to act like that didn't even happen. Like I'll just pitch them like it was normal and they weren't on the website, and then usually, or at least I feel like they'll see that.
For that one, you just ignore it. You don't even say. You just go general pitch.
Unless they're on it for like 5 minutes, and also it's different every time. Like sometimes I'll send a screenshot of Common Room. I'll be like, "Hey, like I see you on the website right here, and this is what I see as an SDR, and now like I clicked your LinkedIn button right here, and now I'm messaging you. Like this is what I'm currently doing right now." So that's a cool way to do it. But most of the time, I'm not going to say, "Hey, saw you on the website." Usually, I'll just send a message, and I feel like they would just think, "Yeah, well, I have been looking into this company. I just got a timely message." And it's better than saying, "Hey, saw you on the website. Come take a demo," that sort of thing.
And then what if you find just like a signal of the competitor or the new job change? What do you say for those signals?
I'll definitely mention the competitors. And I'm always trying to give them idea. Like every time when I'm pitching, I'm trying to give people ideas of what they can do with Common Room. So let's say somebody uses a competitor where they can only show account level signals. I'll reach out to that person, and I might not specifically name drop the competitor. Sometimes I might. Again, I might do the thing with the website visitor where I show them a screenshot of Common Room, and I'll be like, "Hey, I can see this information. Like, what if you could see this for your sales team in their outreach?" But other times I'll just say, like trying to give them ideas of what they can do with my tool. Like if they can see contact level signals as opposed to just account level. So then their SDRs or their account executives can reach out to the exact person again instead of guessing out of like 20,000 people. If you're reaching out to big box stores, that sort of thing.
So let's say I'm in your ICP. I'm a VP of sales. You go after a VP of sales. So what do you do? Okay, so I just got hired as a VP of sales. I accept your connection request. Send a message to me. What do I do? What do you say?
It depends. I'm always trying to. Again, I'm gonna give you some ideas. I have some examples of messages that I've sent to VPs that I've definitely booked meetings with. But I can't really share because I say a lot of like personal stuff for them.
Just give me an example of how you. Let's say I work at a tech company, an AI tech company, and I'm really forward thinking. I post about kind of stuff I want to do online for the team. I just got hired a couple of weeks ago, and so what would you say to me? I'm a tech company. I use AI in some way because every company does nowadays.
If you're posting about using tools in AI, I'm definitely going to talk about our Claude integration MCP server. But I can say I would definitely reference your competitors. I would reference your team members, and I would reference anything relevant from your posts. Like one example of this message I have pulled up right here. Like I mentioned this guy's recent post that he made. He said he was in Hawaii, so I mentioned that. And I also mentioned their Series B that they raised, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. And then I mentioned a competitor, I mentioned a team member, and then also dropped a case study. So I'm like dropping a lot of points of, I don't know if you want to call it relevance or personalization, but like that guy knows that message was just for him.
So it's very dense information at the start. Is it one of those things where you say, "Hey John, comma, I noticed that XYZ," and you just list it off? Is that your typical go-to? Noticed this, read that, saw that you went to Hawaii. Congrats, man. Love that. Hey, also you raised a Series B, which is really cool. And I noticed, do you just pack it in?
Yeah, it'll be really long. Like sometimes it'll be a really long pitch, but I feel like as long as it's relevant, the person will read it. Usually, I'll just say like, "Hey, name, nice connecting. Like saw this, had a couple ideas for this. One is this, two is that." And then I'll be like, "Open to looking. Like worst case, we can show you how this similar company had this result." So it's usually a long pitch. I mean, the more information I have on the person, the longer I'll make it. And people say don't pitch and don't send long messages on LinkedIn. I kind of do both of those, but
let me ask you this: do you just pack it all into one message, or sometimes, I know salespeople will like send one message, with the first part, and then send another. So it's like more just staggered versus one big thing. Do you have a preference? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, recently I've been trying that actually. It's funny you bring that up. Usually I'll just send the one message, but recently somebody was like, "Well, people know it's not a, what is it, like a message you're sending out at mass. If you
AI,
send multiple,
even I bet, because AI is getting so good that people could think even that's AI. But no AI is like hitting you with multiple messages, and even with like dot 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 at the end, or like weird characters, right?
yeah, yeah.
Or like even an LOL in there if you want to feel a little risky.
Yeah, I have been trying to do that. I did that earlier actually. So I've been trying to do that a little bit more. I haven't actually seen any results yet, but I'm sure we'll
Well,
continue.
I've met with some salespeople, and they sometimes they go crazy, and they're like, hey man, I'm reaching out because of your sexy beard. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. Like some people do that, but some people go just the route of the whole like group message all into one. So it's interesting. But I will say, as a buyer, and maybe you as a buyer, I mean, AI is here, and you start to have a little skepticism, right? Sometimes when people reach out to you, you always, at least for me, I always think, is this AI? Is this real human? Like, isn't that weird? I always start thinking that, no matter what. That's something I've caught myself recently. Have you been thinking about that? Like, when people reach out to you, is this a real person? Is this not? Did they actually personalize that? Or am I just skeptical as heck?
I don't think I get enough good outreach. I get outreach to where it's like I just know this is AI automatically. I don't have to think like, is this AI or a human? If I got like a really good message, I would probably think, okay, a human sent this, but I'm sure they use a lot of AI to write this. But it depends on the language. I don't get outreach to as much as you.
Yeah. Well, buyers are changing. We're changing. You still, in the back of your head, you think, well, they probably used AI for this. Unless they maybe sent like an actual video of them, right? Have you sent any videos of yourself, like selfie videos?
Yeah, I do videos. Those are good. Those are good,
Is
especially
that
for follow-ups.
follow-ups? Okay. Is that like 50% of your follow-ups, 100% of your follow-ups, 2%?
Probably like 25. I mean, it's very specific. Like if I have a conversation with somebody and we've talked and they agree like later is a better time to talk, like I'll send them a video later. And it's worked really well. Like I've booked a lot of meetings with that. But it's not like all the time. It's very specific because you don't get a bunch of people that say, okay, it's not the right time, but reach out to me in 3 months. But when they do, I send them a video. It feels a lot better than sending just a wall of text, as I'm sure people hate receiving follow ups like that.
When you think about follow-ups, are you always trying to continue with the idea theme? Like, oh, by the way, also there's this idea, or someone so and so used this. Like, what do you say in the follow-up, whether it be video or just text?
I'll usually try to anchor still on what we talked about previously that got them interested, where they were like, oh, yes, this is worth it, but in 3 months. Like, I'll try to go back to that thing, but just say it a little differently so I'm not just reiterating the exact same way. Um, yeah, hope that answers it.
When someone doesn't respond positively, do you still follow up, or is it just one pitch and done?
What do you mean? Like if they get angry or something?
No, like they don't respond to your first message. You still follow up?
Normally, no. Right now, I have so many leads.
It's
Like
just
it's
impossible,
it's to where like I'm not gonna like I have the next one. Like there's enough good accounts to where I just don't have to. Because on LinkedIn, if I send a message and they don't respond, I feel like my reply rates like just plummet if I'm trying to follow up 2 to 3 times. If it's email, it's definitely different. But I don't know about you, but that's how it's always been on me for LinkedIn.
So you do email as well? Yeah. Do you multi-thread, so LinkedIn and then email and cold call?
LinkedIn and email and calls are working in tandem in sequences. LinkedIn is like a totally separate thing, which might not be the best idea, but it's just what I've always done. Um, I don't like to add LinkedIn steps to my sequences. I kind of just keep LinkedIn totally by itself.
So do you always go LinkedIn first, and then you know connection requests organically, and then do you just hit them up on email, one-off emails, and then cold call? How do you think about that? How do you know when to connect with someone on LinkedIn, and then when to just cold call them or email them?
So I try to add like 20 to 30 people, new people to a sequence a day. And then like I'll click those 20 people, add them to a sequence, email sequence or call sequence. Usually they're in the same sequence. And then I'll just click all those 20 people and send them a connection request. So usually they'll be in the sequence, but I'll send them a connection request. Like that's the first thing they'll see.
When you say sequence, that's more automated. So whereas LinkedIn's like way more typed out and like dense. Is
Yep.
that right?
Yeah. A little bit. I'm not a big fan of emails, but of course you can't automate calls.
And then when you do call someone, are you using the same like script of like, hey, John, I saw this, went to Hawaii, I saw you raised a Series B. Like, are you kind of using the same talk track, or are you doing something completely different?
No, totally different. I mean, I'll just call them and say, like, hey, I'm calling to book a meeting with you, and usually they'll be like,
Really? Yeah.
that
Yeah.
only works for sales leaders. I've tried it on a few marketers. It's worked a couple times, but
Yeah. Marketers don't like that stuff. They get really mad at you.
but honestly, I haven't found anything that works for marketers yet, so I still need to keep experimenting with that. But like sales leaders, I'll call them and say, hey, I'm calling to book a meeting with you, and I'll. I think I've only had like one negative response. Like they've all been good, and usually they just let me get straight into my pitch. Usually I'll just like calls you can't be at like LinkedIn. I can take time to look at some information. Like I mentioned, I dropped like 5 points of relevancy. For calls, I don't do that, which maybe that's something I should change for calls. I just try to keep it like call as many people as I can. I feel like if I can get somebody on the phone, I just need to have a conversation. Like I don't feel like I need to have all the information in the world when I call somebody, which of course everybody's different. Some people I call and they're like, you need to know my business, like before you call me, and some people are like, oh yeah, man, well, like let's talk. So, I mean, maybe that's something I should change, but that's what I'm doing right now.
So, if you were to give yourself advice, let's say a year younger Cade or a year ago, what advice would you give yourself now?
Common room, like is an SDR, because last year I was in high school this time.
Just a younger Cade, or a new SDR, someone who's just starting out. What advice would you give them?
I guess I would just tell them to have as many conversations. I would tell them to try to figure out exactly what a good account is that your company sells to, and then try to have as many conversations with, like lookalike accounts as possible in your outbound. Like everything I'm trying to do is just try to have as many conversations as I can with people in my ICP because so many people aren't ready to buy at this point. But I want to make that connection and then stay connected with them over LinkedIn for when the time is right for them to buy. So just trying to have as many conversations with them as I can, and I know that they're good fit accounts because a lot of the time SDRs are just spraying and praying and reaching out to like everybody in the world. So I'd try to like really get your targeting narrowed down and then just try to have a lot of conversations with them. And
I
for
think
me,
what
that's through LinkedIn because sales leaders are always on there.
I think what stands out to me about you, man, is that you pitch, you do all the stuff, you have all the research, but you also post a lot on LinkedIn organic. Like, is that helping you out? I mean, you've gotten so many impressions. SDR salespeople are starting to post on LinkedIn more, but you're really leaning into it. Why did you choose to do that?
As soon as I got there, I was just like, okay, we sell to salespeople, and salespeople are all over this platform. So if I could post and be a familiar face for when I'm reaching out to them, like that's going to be a huge advantage, which it definitely has been. Like last year, I got a lot of inbounds, like people requesting demos, because that was like when everybody kind of buys, which is towards the latter half of the year. So hoping that'll happen again this year. Not as many in the start of this year, but yeah, posting definitely helps with a lot of stuff.
But here's the thing, you're not even posting about like pitching stuff. Like your last post, you talked about giving away $100 to whoever describes Common Room the best. That's a more marketing play. But you've literally been posting the most random stuff about. I'm scrolling down to your profile right now, and you do talk about your LinkedIn strategy. You have a Substack. That's great. You're posting a lot about your just success and just like, hey, I ended my March with 143% of quota. Like that's not even pitching Common Room. That's just like showing your personal success. So it's almost like, hey, here's what I can do. So it's, salespeople would look at your account and probably be like, why is he posting that stuff? Sometimes you post the most random stuff. So I like it. But is that part of the strategy? Are you just straight up posting whatever you feel like at the moment?
Definitely a vibes guy. I could go full out, like post about Common Room, comment about Common Room, but I don't. I probably post about Common Room like 10% of the time.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like I could book a lot more meetings through LinkedIn if I did go full out Common Room, but it's not like I'm like I don't feel like I need to do that, and I don't want to do that because I still want to keep it like sort of personal and show like I'm a human. This isn't just like my company, um, that sort of thing.
Yeah, literally, you posted a cold call song of the day, "Baby Come Back." That was it, and then you took commented a little bit more about it. The people are like, "What?" So you're talking about sales stuff. So it's interesting. So you're targeting salespeople, and then maybe they'll find some enjoyment, and laughs out of that.
Hopefully. But yeah, I enjoy making content. That's fun. It's a fun part of my job.
Love it, dude. All right, well, that's all I have. I I learned quite a bit from you today. So
I'm glad.
thanks for
Yeah.
chilling with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.